everyone and welcome to the channel. I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video, but that's not because I haven't been doing any fishing. I've actually begun 2 campaigns which I'm sure you'll hear about in the future, but for now I'll be talking about the work overnighters I've been doing. Basically, at the beginning of the year I began a new job as a pipe fitter, and luckily enough for me, the lad I was going to be working with was a keen angler himself. The plan was to load our fishing gear into the work van as well as all the tools, and wherever we landed, what site it was, we would find the best lake we could nearby and drop onto it to do some work overnighters, making the most of the evening and morning bite times between work. Reese himself, however, wasn't new to doing work overnighters. I'd only done a couple myself in the past, but nothing to this extent. He'd done a couple full years previously of non-stop work overnighters, and he'd managed fish up to 41 pounds, being the silver coming out of Stanwick Lakes. So yeah, it's safe to say I was pretty eager to get started and see what the work overnighters had in store for me. We did struggle a bit at first, only managing to land a couple of small carp. However, once we arrived at Stanic Lakes, that was soon all about to change. I literally just finished doing the bait floss on my first rod, and then my phone rang and it was Reese telling us that he had quite a lump sat in the net. Mid.
Look at that, bro.
Proper calf.
Scaly. Maybe a 30, that, mate.
Looks a canny lump like, doesn't it? We were both already buzzing to see a big carp in the bottom of the net. However, once we got it out onto the mat, we realised just how special this one really was.
We turned up, I catapulted 30 pro stim liver on a nice clear spot. There, it's the only clear spot I could find. Literally, the rod was out for 5 minutes. I seen a coot, it went through the line. So I tightened it up on the spool and it dropped back again. I pulled up into the rod and it kited left, and been rewarded with this beauty after a long wait.
The results definitely speak for themselves this time, mate.
That's it. Good start of the year, eh, mate? Beauty
mirror that, mate.
Thanks for coming.
Not any time, man. Hopefully you get another one.
Cheers, pal. We'll get a gun, eh?
Yeah, let's see her away. There she goes.
Cheers, brother.
That was a fish known as the mallard mirror, what weighed 38 pounds 8 ounces, and I believe it's the biggest mirror in Elson's Lake, so it was a right result to get that one on the first night. The rest of the week, however, passed over pretty quietly until I decided to move on to Mallard Lake for the final night, where I did manage to get a bite, but it wasn't even 10 pounds, so I didn't do no pictures or videos of that one, I just slipped it straight back. We arrived at Stanic Lakes again the next week, where I decided to boat one rod out tight to the reed line, and then I decided to bait the spot in open water and place one rod on it and one rod just off to the side of it. Neither of these tactics paid off, however, as I blanked again that next week, but I still enjoyed being down there again, and it's definitely a venue that I would love to return to, knowing the pedigree of some of the carp in there. I did return for one more night by myself, but I only managed a little one at first light. Right, so here it is, a bite I've managed at first light this morning. Probably not even a scrape or double, but it is a nice little scaly one, and I'll take it to save a blank. The next place we went, where we both managed to get a couple of bites from, was a place called Morehouse Farm Fisheries. We arrived quite late in the evening due to the bank holiday traffic, and after just a couple of hours, Reese managed to get the first bite. There you go.
Nice low 20 coming. Rod's been out an hour or two. Well deserved after that 8.5 hour drive, eh, mate?
Definitely, mate. Weighing just under 22 pounds, it was a solid start, and the first of 3 bites Reese managed that night, including a nice little ghostie.
First ghostie, third one of the night.
It was a pretty quiet night for me the first night, however that all changed going into the second evening. After a quiet first night, I decided to have a little change in tactics, opting to fish over just sweet corn with single yellow pop-ups under the little island out in front of us, while Reese kept doing what was working for him, fishing with boilie with a little bit of sweet corn mixed in with different hook bits over the top of it. We did manage plenty of bites over the couple of weeks we were there, so I'll show you the best of the bunch now. Well, here it is, my first carp from Morehouse Farm Fishery. Definitely not the biggest one in the lake, I'd be lucky if it's a scrape or double, but it's definitely one of the prettier ones. Well, there it is, the second fish of the session, and that didn't take too long at all. Must have literally sat down a couple of minutes after getting that tin of corn out, and the rod hooped round, and this lovely little common was on the end of it. I'd say it's a low double getting up towards the mid double mark. Hopefully, if I keep repeating the tactics, we can get a good few more bites, and I can run into one over that £20 mark before the end of the week. Well, here it is, the first bite of the evening. It's nothing big, just a low double common, but it's got some lovely colours in it. Hopefully I can get the rod back on the spot and manage one a little bit bigger very soon. Well, there it is, the second fish of the evening, and probably my biggest one so far, being a lovely ghostie. I've only ever caught one of these previously before, so it's very nice to see this one slip over the net. I'm going to have a quick look at the other side, get him slipped back. Hopefully we can manage another couple tonight and hit that £20 target. Rods are all set now again after having that fish. Probably got about an hour or so till it gets dark, so I think it's time I try and get my tea on again. Hopefully it's not too long till we have another one. Well, here it is, the first fish of the evening. This one going to touch over £16. It's a lovely common, and hopefully it's a sign that the fish are going to keep getting bigger and I can run into that £20 before long. I did set myself a target of catching a carp from over £20 from the farm lake, but I didn't manage to do that. However, I did catch my first catfish, which gave us quite the battle, trying to pull itself under the boat down in front of us. Well, it's not quite what I was after, but it's definitely a start of the session. I literally just lost a small mirror down there to the hook pull. I recasted the rod and I felt it bounce down the shelf. Before I even had the chance to recast it, I was attached to this catfish. I did think it was a pretty big carp for a minute because I've not caught one of these before, but either way I'll take this. It's plenty time for another one tonight. With a carp, not a cat. We did manage to land a few more bites between us, and Reese finished the session off landing a pretty nice common.
Good condition one for an ear as well, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, looks lovely, mate. What was that on the scales, 18?
18, maybe it's 18 and a half. What if it's
Yeah, either way though, it's a lovely fish and it looks a lot bigger in person.
Lovely. One of the best ones we've had out here so far, like, isn't it?
Definitely, mate. The next place that we went was probably my favourite venue out of all the places we'd been so far. It was set in the middle of a very quiet country park, and with some nice old original fish and a good stock of the newer ones added into the mix, Pans Lake was a very nice one. We arrived at Pans Lake on a Wednesday, meaning that we had 2 nights to fish. Although I was confident after seeing fish, nothing happened for me in them first 2 nights. Reese, however, managed to get himself 2 fish, being a common just under £20 and a low 20 mirror. A couple of weeks later, we returned to Pans Lakes, where I had a little change of tactics, deciding to fish solid bags with full of bloodworm pellet in and matching bloodworm wafters. Right, so we're back from work again, and as you can probably see it swinging about behind us, I've just tied up 2 solid bags again. I haven't looked at the water yet, but I'm going to stand and watch it for a few minutes now, and if there's not many fish in the areas where I'm fishing, I'm just going to quietly lower the bags in. Well, that's exactly what we wanted to see coming back in here. Get a load of them on that plateau there. Seeing so many fish out in front of us definitely filled us with a lot of confidence that I would manage a few bites that week. Although it was tempting to put a rod out onto the plateau, I decided to place a solid bag down each margin as I'd seen carp passing there, and I believed that it would keep the disturbance down to a minimum and avoid spooking them with any of my lines passing through the water. And another one. Straight towards the bush. The first night passed over pretty quietly. Then, on the second night, I got a call from Reese saying that he had a pretty good fish in the net.
The second night in, we've managed to bag a nice £29 6-ounce mirror. It's an absolute beauty at that.
Lovely fish, mate.
Made up with that one, mate. That made something still in the barbecue.
That's it. Right, good morning everyone. It's literally just here breaking light now. Getting under about 4:15. And I've not long just managed to bundle one into the net. I'm absolutely buzzing, to be honest. Like, I just wanted one fish out of here. It's probably not the biggest one in the lake. A nice chunky looking mirror. Well, here it is, my first day at Pans Lake Carp, and what a cracker it is. I haven't put it on the scales yet, but I'm not too bothered about the size, but it looks like this. What a stunner, mate, eh?
Beauty, mate.
I'm all more for the moon with this one, like.
Looks even better in person.
That's it, like, look at the colours on it are absolutely amazing. Got a load of lovely scales on the tail on either side, nice dark mirror, bit of orange in it. Don't get much better than this before you go to work in the morning.
Ah, beauty that, mate.
So,
Buzzing for you.
Okay, we'll look at the other side, eh?
Yes, mate.
Here it is, the other side of an absolutely stunning carp. I'm going to get a put back, reposition that other solid back. Hopefully I can get another chance before we go to work in these next couple hours. But if not, I'll be going to work. Very, very happy this morning. I was very happy releasing that carp that morning. I baited my spot, and when I got back from work, it was very clear that the carp had been visiting the spot again. Yeah, they're definitely still coming by here, like going straight in towards that bush. Hopefully they've been feeding on the bloodworm and krill pellet while I've been gone. We'll see what that brings there. Right, good morning everyone. It was a pretty quiet night last night. I woke up this morning anyways and that right rod's hooped round again and I've got one in the net. Well, here it is, my second carp from Pans Lake, a lovely mirror. I'm going to get it put back as he's pretty angry. Yeah, didn't really like doing the photos this one, but what a fish, mate.
Oh, lovely, mate.
Stunner. As well as them two bites that I did manage to land, I did unfortunately lose one down to the snag at my right hand margin, which I was pretty gutted about because I felt like it was a really good fish. Reese had a bit of bad luck as well, losing one, but he also managed the final bite of the trip on the last morning.
After losing one at halfway this morning, only a little one, but it's another one off the list. We'll slip it back, there's a bit of a late for work, mate.
Ah, that's it, mate, let's get going, eh?
Yes, mate, let's do it.
Spot on. As I said before, Pans Lake was definitely my favourite venue as it was a very nice place full of very nice carp. The next place we fished was Pit 1 on Doddington Lane Pits, which held a decent stock of carp going up to close to 40 pounds. After taking a walk round the lake, I decided I was going to wade 2 rigs round underneath some overhangs with a little bit of bait sprinkled over the top, and it only took till that first evening till I managed to get a bite. It was a pretty straightforward battle and it didn't take me too long until I had my first Pit 1 carp sat in the net. Well, here it is, my first carp from Doddington Lane Pit, fishing on Pit 1. Didn't take too long at all. I decided I was going to put my waders on and have a little walk round the margin as I didn't have my bait boat to hand, and I knew that casting into them areas right amongst the trees might be pretty difficult. So I waded round, I found a nice couple firm areas in amongst the silt, hand placed 2 spinner rigs with a couple handfuls of bait over each one, and it only took a couple hours to get this 19.5 pound mirror. Great start. I'm going to get both rods reset as they swim into the other line on the way in, and hopefully this is the start of many as it's only the first night. But yeah, great results. Right, so we've just arrived back at the lake now for the second night on Doddington Lane Pits. I think it'd be pretty stupid to change my tactics up with it working for us on the first night. I'm just going to get 2 fresh baits on my spinner rigs, wade them out, drop them back in position, and hopefully it's not too long till I can get another bite. After carefully placing each rod on a likely looking spot, I sat back pretty confident that evening and waited for the bite, which followed a few hours afterwards. It was literally seconds after getting that first fish into the net when I had a bleep on the other rod and it began to hoop round towards the trees.
You got one in the net? Never.
I thought I'd came off there.
Swimming towards you.
Yes, just swam towards us. Oh, I've got one in the net, this is the same in there.
Nice scaly one though. It's in.
Right, so here it is, the first carp I just got there out of the brace I've just had. I didn't really got this one into the net, and the other rod hooped round onto the stand. And before we even had time to get it out of the water, I was battling another fish, which is probably about the same size as this, if not a little bit bigger. It's a nice scaly one. This one's a lovely carp too. It's got a few scales on it. Nice example of one of the mirror carp here at pit 1 in Doddington Lane pits, but aye. I'm going to get this one slipped back and we'll have a look at the other carp I've got. What a start of the night. Right, so I'm going to get the first one slipped back of the brace I've just had there. I'll get us a look at the other one. And that's the second fish out of the two I've just had there in quick succession. I've spent quite a lot of time doing the pictures and yapping there, so I'm going to get this one back in the water now. Hopefully I can get another one throughout the night, but if not, we've got 2 more nights of work overnight this week to hopefully run into a bit bigger one. I was very happy to get the double take the way I did, with both fish being mid-20s, and I did manage to get another take as well the following morning, that one being a scraper 20. Well, here it is, my 4th carp from Doddington Lane pits, just as it went light this morning. Time to go to work now, both the rods are in, so I'm going to quickly put back, and hopefully we can get a few more again tonight. See what happens. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed watching, as that brings us to the end of the video now. I'll be honest, fishing these work overnighters wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be in the beginning, but we've had quite a few nice carp between us now, which I'm pretty happy about. And if you've enjoyed watching, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time I'm out on the bank.